Hello, we are Gold Team 6 and I am Dan Tate. I'll be kicking off our discussion of Module 3 on Enterprise Resource Planning Systems. Later in the discussion, you'll get to hear from Gold Team members Jeffrey Meier and Jonathan Burnside. We'll be talking about a veritable alphabet soup of initialism, so let's get started with ERP, the abbreviation for Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP systems are a single pane of glass that all management can look through to run a company. Before a business commits to an ERP, their managers were probably all using different applications, each with their own database systems to operate their area of management. It could be even worse than that. Without a common ERP, sometimes multiple applications and databases are kept for staffing, client contacts, timekeeping, and whatever other software a process area or branch office purchased and implemented. Those systems databases don't work together and can't provide an overall managerial view of the company, its people, and its clients. An ERP system is going to offer modules that can help managers run the entire enterprise. Ready to add to the alphabet soup? Modules like HR, CRM, MRP, KMS, and SCM. And all of these run on a common DBMS and likely have integrated EDI systems as well. Are you hungry now? Don't be intimidated by all the letters. You have likely encountered some or all of these modules at work. Human resources, customer relationship management, materials requirements planning, knowledge management system, supply chain management, and others you will definitely recognize that didn't get letters, like accounting and finance, engineering and production, and inventory. There might be other modules too that are more specific to your industry. So now that we have a better idea of what an ERP is and the modules that might make it up, let's take a look at one of the specific modules, the SCM, or Supply Chain Management. An SCM module is typically used for forecasting, procurement, order fulfillment, materials planning, production, and delivery of product. But consider, as a supply chain manager, there are two different perspectives. When operating as a customer, the manager will take the perspective of procurement. When will we get our products and goods? When operating as a manufacturer, the manager will take the perspective of fulfillment. How can I best get my product to my customer ASAP without a screw-up? Sometimes companies use an SCM for both procurement and fulfillment. Often, a company's suppliers or customers work together in an SCM so that they can order and deliver product as efficiently as possible, perhaps using EDI in the process. More letters for the soup. EDI is electronic data interchange, the process of businesses electronically communicating information that was traditionally communicated on paper. So who are the cooks of our alphabet soup? Players like SAP, Oracle, and Microsoft lead the pack. All promise to be the best at integrating and helping us manage our systems. Now that we have an understanding of what ERP systems are, let's let Jeff tell us about how ERP systems are put together and operate.
Thank you, Dan. First, we are going to discuss how firms implement enterprise resource planning, ERP systems. As you can see from the figure depicted in the slide, ERP systems have many different components. This ERP system includes supply chain management, manufacturing resource planning, human resource management, customer relationship management, and financial management. Firms trade in traditional, separate applications and database approaches to develop an ERP that is centralized. In order to do so, firms must adapt to an ERP vendor rather than adapting the ERP of a vendor to their firm. A successful ERP encompasses different departments that might still have their own software, but the software is linked together to create a network effect. This is significant because employees can then access information from different departments. How does big data affect ERP systems? In order to develop a centralized location of data, A database administrator must organize the database. If this is done correctly, data is accessible to managers and employees. These individuals can then make decisions based off collective knowledge of the database. Having data in a network allows firms to transition to a database approach to management. Depending on the size of the data, this approach allows management to establish a data warehouse or data mart. What are the characteristics of database technologies and how can they be used? Having information in a centrally located area or network allows firms to develop data warehouses and data marts. This is very beneficial to a firm because it allows for information to be accessible to managers or decision makers. This also enables patterns to be discovered in the data. Acquiring this data is referred to as data mining, which can be a very powerful tool for firms. Data mining includes using historical information to predict future outcomes on prior events. A technique called association refers to finding a pattern which allows for a deeper understanding of raw data. This enables firms to make informed decisions. What is business intelligence and how does it affect ERP and database technologies? Business intelligence refers to firms utilizing sophisticated means to find patterns in data that were previously overlooked. It also enables firms to make educated decisions and yield better outcomes. Firms that are capable of making informed decisions by analyzing large quantities of data often respond better to changes in the market. They also can respond better to environmental factors that could have also been overlooked. I'm now going to turn this over to John to finish the presentation. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. I'd like to begin by talking about some of the common pitfalls associated with ERP deployment. First is the wrong motive for ERP. A commonly made mistake, especially when ERP-like systems first appeared, is a choice for ERP with the wrong motive. There have been many companies who have opted for ERP in order to clean up their messy way of operation. This will almost always end up in a disaster. To avoid this pitfall, make sure you first improve your procedures to a reasonable standard before thinking of an ERP. Do not rely on ERP to dig your way out of a hole. Underestimating the effort. Implementing an ERP can take a lot of effort. Such systems will eventually contain most of the user's procedures and are very complex. Preparation of the implementation takes much time and work. Underestimating required efforts can have severe consequences for your business. Underestimating the cost. ERP systems can be expensive to implement properly. It is important to conduct a robust cost and benefit analysis before you select and implement your ERP. This pitfall can cost an enterprise dearly if it is found later that an ERP system's total cost outweighs its financial benefit. Choosing the wrong ERP. Shopping for ERPs is similar to shopping for clothes. For example, a small or medium-sized company should avoid buying too big of a system, and instead it should implement one that is more appropriate to its requirements and budget. Another related issue is choosing the wrong type of ERP. For instance, there are project-oriented ERPs and production line-oriented ERPs. Make sure you choose a system that fits with the type of business you operate. Next, I'd like to talk about some of the benefits associated with ERP. Increased security and regulatory compliance can keep data safe and regulated. You can increase productivity using ERPs by eliminating redundant processes and streamlining operations. Increase customer service by providing a quicker, more accurate way to access the customer's information and history. ERPs can also increase mobility and flexibility, increase collaboration, increase integrated information, and save money. Now I'd like to give a recap of the things we've covered today in our presentation. We have covered issues with ERP systems. We have discussed the subtypes of ERP systems such as supply chain management, customer relationship management, materials requirements planning, and knowledge management systems. We have explored lead vendors of enterprise resource planning systems. We have learned about databases and data warehouses as well as business intelligence. We have studied several examples of ERP systems as well as business intelligence and covered some of the complexities of successful deployments of these technologies. We have come to understand how significant enterprise resource planning systems are in today's business. On behalf of my teammates, Dan, Jeff, and myself, John, we would like to thank you for watching our presentation. We hope you have found this information useful and may apply it in future situations. We wish you good luck in your future business endeavors, and let's go Mountaineers.